Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And Yahweh, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. All right. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. In the NLT it reads, Yahweh, your power will inflict all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate and persecute you. Then you will again obey Yahweh and keep all his commandments that I am giving you today. All right. So the closer we get to the end of Esau Edom's kingdom, the more of the curses that are on us are going to start to afflict them. Right. Curses such as, us being a byword and a curse to, the surrounding nations, right? Being persecuted. Being oppressed, all right? The Lord is, turning the table, so to speak. 2nd Ezra 6:9 says, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So the closer we get to, Jacob's reign on this earth, the more Esau Edom feels the curses, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this out is because of a few videos I saw. So I'm going to let these videos play, and I'll be back.
It's been used as a slur against me.
I'm really sorry.
And so I would discourage the use of that word, actually.
No, it's Tanakh.
If you want to call us Gentiles, call us Gentiles.
I wouldn't. I just need you to know that if you will hear me giving a share and say, what is a Goy allowed to do? What is a Jew? What are the 7 mitzvahs for Goyim, right? That is how we talk when we're talking with the greatest of respect, right? A righteous among the Goyim, right, is someone that we would call Charlie Kirk.
It's been used.
Now, that's a deceitful word that man just spoke to his own people, because you go into the writings of the Talmud, which is what they follow. I know he said that's Tanakh, but if you notice, they don't too tough speak on the Talmud, even though they follow it, right? They speak heavy on the Tanakh, which is basically the first 5 books of the Bible, right? They follow the Talmud, and when you read about what they say, about Goyim is a Yiddish term for Gentiles, right? It's basically cattle, and in their Talmud they have the right to do all kinds of atrocities to the Goyim, right? And I mean atrocities, like as far as the stuff that's going on in the Epstein files, it's okayed in the Talmud, right? Yeah, there's a lot of weirdo stuff going on in that book, right? And Esau Edom is now putting pressure on Esau Edom, right? Because these two individuals don't see themselves as the same people, even though they're clearly the same people, right? But we understand Amalek is the first of the nations. They are the individuals that run this world. They are the ones that tell this other individual, which you can call that an American Edomite, right? Tell them, what to do, how to think, how to behave, what to love, what to hate. But it's to the point to where now they wisen up to, the falsified doctrine, and they bucking up against it, right? Which is, Isaiah 19, Egyptian set against Egyptian, right? Both of you individuals, right, represent the same thing. You don't know it, but, you do. And the Lord is pitting you against one another for the Lord's will, right?
ask this question, right? Because I seen this video, and this dude was basically saying, like, black people have always been in a fascist regime. White people are just now in the fascist regime now. So
It's not waking up to it.
Because like they're effective.
Because they've always, like, quiet as it kept, the math of who is victimized by the state, just raw numbers, it's always been them. It's just now I saw a great tweet or thread. Somebody was like, there's a lot of white people that are asking themselves openly, is state violence against me okay if it means it still affects black people? Like, that's their wager right now. Now, some of them are already like, this is wild, we outside now.
Yeah.
But there's a handful of them that's like, man, they do kill black people more, but now I'm getting killed.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've always, I made a video about this being a cult.
Yeah,
So
death cult.
there's always been a lot of effort and work put in to allow white death to be easily disassociative for white people. It's January 6th. It's spree shooters. It's serial killers. That's why true crime is such a big deal. Think about it. This was a mother of three dropping somebody off that just got and I've seen police, like, I remember a brother got shot in Cincinnati off that same he was going to hit me with his car excuse. And then the Alice Brett situation is even more clear, like, okay, no, y'all are on the menu and they've been on the menu, but now it's like, oh, we really are we're really on the menu.
Right, and he says on there, right? They've been, oppressed by the elite. That's what I'm really speaking about. The elite are the ones that really run this place. The top 1%, which are Edomites, right? You may have a sprinkle of melanated individuals amongst them, but they not them, right? They just, hang-alongs, right? And that 1% don't give a damn about your average so-called white individual. They not sharing that wealth, right? And it's to the point to where now they can blatantly see it. And they can see nobody trying to change a damn thing about it, right? They see it only getting worse and worse and worse. They don't understand why, but the reason why is because the Lord is shifting things. Even the exposure of what's really going on is a part of that shift, right? Now, I said the term white only came about in 1681. That came really as to appease lower level Edomites, for real. So that, now you're not the 1%, but at least you're white. And they created a whole system surrounded around, you being white and attached to the creator of these systems, right? Also known as, so-called white supremacy, right? They got the job market is specified to them, the currency, the finances, everything really dealing with finance and power and respect and pull, as it pertains to law enforcement. That's always been their thing. Right? They get pulled over by the police. They hopping out the car, cussing out the police. Police ain't doing nothing to them, but if so-called black men do what they did, type deal. But now that the Lord is turning the tables on their ass, right? And is more so, dealing with violence as well, but more so, like I said, dealing with how the world sees these individuals. Right? And going into the Lord, putting the curse of us being called a byword, right? Of being called anything outside of what the Lord called us, and the respect that comes with that. The exposure of these demons is taking that respect away because more and more people, even of their own, are starting to see the devil for what they really are. The Lord is putting these curses on these devils, right? So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him, right? Speaking about Esau, Edom, more so going into that top 1%, the individuals that call their own people Goyim, that have a whole separatist state of mind with their own folk. Right? Even though this is supposed to be their kingdom, right? This is supposed to be, their heaven. this shows the wickedness of these individuals, because in the kingdom of heaven, all Israel will be saved. All Israel going to have the same mind. All Israel is going to be on the straight and narrow path. There will be no division, right? The northern and the southern kingdom will come back together as one, right? But in this world, the individuals that's claiming to be, it's not so, right? And they are seeing it now more so than ever, right? 2 Thessalonians 2:8 again. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Now we understand that this is speaking about, Yasharallah and this devil's influence on our world, right? But same thing with their own folk. They bought into the lie for so long that now it's really destroying them, right? Because they never imagined, never in a million years, not my own people, but yes, your own people. And we've been telling you, your own people don't give a damn about you. And you call us crazy. We ain't know what the hell we talking about. But now you see it. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse, because it's supposed to, right? Verse 11, and for this cause, power shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Now, once again, we understand this speaking about, Yasharallah, but on the same note. All right, matter of fact, let's see. It's Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, right? In NLT, if a ruler pays attention to liars, all his advisors will be wicked. What the hell? Nah, we're going to stick more so on the on the KJV side. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, right? So if it's a king, which you can say, the head of the daughter of Babylon, who is subject to the 1%ers, which are the individuals that call their own people Goyim, then that means everybody underneath that king that listen to that king and believe that king to be absolute truth in everything that they say, they going to follow suit with what he got going on. And it's to the point to where now they are seeing the lies, right? And they are beginning to question things stronger than ever, right? And it's a beautiful thing to see, right? Because this is the Lord letting us know, and they time almost up, man. Like it's saying in the book of Matthew, I want to say 24, right? The time of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. So that means we almost out of here, all right? And that's yeah, words can't describe. In my mind, can only imagine through these scriptures of what that feels like. So that's what we want. That's what we want. And that's what we want. So I am with that, man. Yahweh Shem Ratazah, you were edified by these precepts in this video. Call Haloyim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakakudah Shalom Yashala. Wow, Abba Babal.